there's always some standard of beauty that you're not meeting. Because if you're thin enough, then you don't have that ass that everybody wants. But if you have enough weight on you to have an ass, then your stomach isn't flat enough. It's all just fucking impossible.
Hello and welcome to Mindspo TV, your online destination for all things mindset, motivation, inspiration, and of course, meditation. I'm your meditation teacher, Rochelle Fox, and today I'm bringing you Mindspo's take on Taylor Swift's self-love tips. Now, Taylor's a major inspiration of mine, so I really think you're gonna love today's tribute. And if you wanna see extended cuts of any of today's tips with credits, you can find them down below in the description box. I really hope you liked today's video, and if you do, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Let's get into it. I'd get kind of called in front of a group of people who have known me and worked with me for years, who would sit down and say, "Are you sure you want to call the album 1989? We think it's a weird title. Are you sure that you want to put an album cover out that has less than half of your face on it? Are you positive that you want to take a genre that you have that cemented yourself in and completely switch to a new one that you are a newcomer to?" And answering all those questions with "yes, I'm sure," that was, I think, something that really frustrated me at the time. Like, guys, don't you understand? I promise this is what I'm dying to do. Let those decisions be your decisions. Don't let them be some man in a suit's decisions or some A&R guy wearing a beanie. Whether it's what you decide to wear, how you feel confident on stage, what you want your persona to be, what you want to stand for, what you want to stand up for. And most of all, creatively, I think you should steer the ship. I literally don't look at the response to when I say something. Like, I'm not looking for, oh, so-and-so liked it, so-and-so didn't. Like, it's just, to me, I think that for so long people said, you know, it is our obligation to stand up and say when things are wrong. And I completely agree. Mm-hmm. That's where it comes from. Like, I wasn't monitoring, like, if people kind of bailed on me or if people joined. And it's not about that at all. It's something way bigger.
Just speaking the truth.
I think you have to. And also, I think the things that happen to you in your life are the things that shape your political opinions and your willingness to discuss them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've had things happen in the last couple of years, a sexual assault trial, all kinds of things that have really shaped how much it matters to say your experience, to speak your experience into the world, and to stand up for things that, you know, things are not going well. In the last 10 years, I have watched as women in this industry are criticized and measured up to each other and picked at for their bodies, their romantic lives, their fashion. Or have you ever heard someone say about a male artist, "I really like his songs, but I don't know what it is. There's just something about him I don't like"? No, that criticism is reserved for us. But, you know, I've learned that the difference between those who can continue to create in that climate usually comes down to this: who lets that scrutiny break them and who just keeps making art. That the only way forward is forward motion. That we shouldn't let obstacles like criticism slow down the creative forces that drive us.
Yeah, I think it was the fact that lately I've been spending a lot of time online. Just why? Because, well, not in the way you think. I've been kind of going and reading all kinds of comments from fans on Instagram and Tumblr and Twitter, and seeing that not only was I going through people saying things about me that weren't true, so was everyone that I was talking to online. And we may have different circumstances surrounding our lives and different sources of gossip. Theirs is like whispers in school hallways or rumors at work, and mine is on the newsstand when I check out at the grocery store. But it's the same feeling. Yeah. And I think that it has to be the same reaction if you want to continue to live a happy life. You have to let go of things you can't control, and it's our human instinct to try and defend yourself when people have the wrong impression of you. You want to be like, but you don't like me because you don't understand. That's not what happened. But you have to let go of that and just like get rid of it, because it's not yours anymore.
I think that one thing I've learned is that there doesn't have to be loneliness in being alone, and you can find romance in your life even if you aren't involved in a romance. Life can be beautiful and spontaneous and surprising and romantic and magical without you having some love affair happening. And you can replace all of those feelings you used to have when you were enamored with someone with being enamored with your friends and enamored with learning new things and challenging yourself and living your life on your own terms. And I never understood it when people would say, oh, in your 20s, you just need to be alone. And I never quite got it because they would never explain to me that it's so important to define yourself on your own terms. If you think about it, when you're in love, that person's opinion affects your opinions. And everything you do goes through this filter of how would they feel about it. Because if you're a caring person and you're in love, then that's what you do. But there's something really wonderful about changing your life if you want to, cutting your hair short if you want to, moving to New York if you want to, changing directions of your entire creative outlook if you want to, and having it only be on your own terms. So that's what I learned.
Before we get into tip number 6, I just want to mention if you want more high vibe self-love content in your life, then be sure to check out our Instagram page at Mindspo. We've even created a tribute artwork inspired by today's video, which you can share on your gram. You can find the link below this video.
I've learned over the years it's not good for me to see pictures of myself every day because I have a tendency, and it's only happened a few times and I'm not in any way proud of it, but I tend to get triggered by something, whether it's a picture of me where I feel like I looked like my tummy was too big, or like someone said that I looked pregnant or something, and that'll just trigger me to just starve a little bit, just stop eating. I thought that I was just like supposed to feel like I was gonna pass out at the end of a show or in the middle of it. I thought that was how it was. And now I realize, no, if you eat food, have energy, get stronger, you can do all these shows and not feel it, which is really good revelation, because I'm a lot happier with who I am, and I'm happier with, like, I don't care as much if, like, somebody points out that I have gained weight. It's just something that makes my life better. The fact that I'm a size 6 instead of a size 00. I mean, that wasn't how my body was supposed to be. I just didn't really understand that. At the time, I really don't think I knew it. I would have defended it to anyone who said, I'm concerned about you. I was like, what are you talking about? Of course I eat, it's perfectly normal, I just exercise a lot. And I did exercise a lot, but I wasn't eating. And I don't think you know you're doing that when you're doing it gradually. There's always some standard of beauty that you're not meeting. Because if you're thin enough, then you don't have that ass that everybody wants. But if you have enough weight on you to have an ass, then your stomach isn't flat enough. It's all just fucking impossible. You don't ever say to yourself, like, I've got an eating disorder, but you're like making a list of everything you put in your mouth that day, and that's probably not right. But then again, there's so many diet blogs that tell you that's what you should do. This would cause me to go into like a real shame, like hate spiral. This. And like, I caught myself yesterday starting to do it, and I was like, nope, we don't do that anymore. We do not do that anymore, because it's better to think you look fat than to look sick. And we don't do that anymore. And we're changing the channel in our brain, and we're not doing that anymore. That didn't end us up in a good place.
You're seeing all these angles of your own life, and then you compare it to other people's lives when you don't see what they're going through. You just see the good parts of what they're going through. Am I right? say to you, when you start to compare yourself to other people, please change the channel in your mind to something else. Because I think that when it comes to how we see ourselves, other people are really mean, but we're really mean to ourselves. And so it's easy to get confused. And when you do get confused, and you start feeling like you're not special, or you're not different, or you have nothing important to say, we all feel like that sometimes. But I want you to do right now, if there's one thing you remember from tonight, remember what I'm about to say. You need to look into the mirror in the morning and not tell yourself that you're not special, or you're not good enough, you're not pretty, or you're not awesome. I'm gonna tell you right now the things you actually are not, okay? These are the things you really are not. You are not the opinion of somebody who doesn't know you. You are not damaged goods just because you've made mistakes in your life. You are not going nowhere just because you haven't gotten where you want to go yet. Those are the things you actually are not. Now, I want to tell you what you are. You are your own definition of beautiful and worthwhile. That's what you are. And you are someone who is wiser because you made mistakes, not damaged, wiser. You know, it's not about perfection. It's about just getting on with things sometimes. Sometimes you just get credit for getting up and going on with things. And you don't have to do it perfectly. And I think that we mistake our mistakes for damage, and we think other people will judge us for them. But I want you to know that the way I see mistakes, they don't make you damaged. They make you clean.
Oh wow, I mean, I really hope that I hope I'll allow myself to age gracefully, and I hope that I will age without having a lot of anxiety about aging. Because I think a lot of people, especially people in the public eye, they tend to think that aging decreases your worth, or decreases your relevancy, or decreases the value on your thoughts. And I'm really hoping that with time I'll gain more wisdom, and I will use it for good and not allow my brain to create all this anxiety about something that's going to happen to everybody. At the end of the day, you just have to try to find a way to stay sane. Like, there's a balance to it all, and I have bad days where I focus on it and I feel like there's nothing that I do that's right, and no matter how hard I try, you're gonna have people that just can't find one good thing about you. But focusing on those people is the quickest way to lead an unhappy life. Because I wanted, I can tell them all I want, be yourself. It doesn't matter if people think you're sexy or edgy or cool. But if I don't lead by example, then I'm not actually conveying that message fully. So with this video, it's not a sexy video, but it conveys a message I really want to get across to girls, that if that's not your thing, you don't have to try to be like everyone else.
Thanks so much for watching today's download. I'd love to know in the comments down below, what was your favorite takeaway and your favorite tip from this self-love tribute. Be sure to click the big red subscribe button down below to support our channel, and smack that bell so you don't miss our next self-love download. For more self-love tips, you can find Mindspo on Instagram, and until next time, go love yourself, and I'll see you soon.